Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Guns. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm sitting here with Dr. Nila. She is running for as a Democrat in the 2nd Congressional District primary. And I am here first to let you know that I have completely endorsed her. I think that she's the best candidate for this office. We've had a lot of people in that office who haven't necessarily produced the kind of results that we need. But I think that Dr. Nila will do a great job. And so I'm sitting here with her today. She's got a son, Christian. And so she's a mom. And so that tells you something about who she is. So welcome. I'm glad that you're here today.
Thank you so much, Pastor Guns. I really appreciate it. Oh, Chrissy, come here, sweetie pie. Oh, yes. Oh. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it is hard being a new mom, a doctor who works in the hospital, and running this campaign.
Well, that is the nature of life.
It is.
And so, why don't you just introduce yourself to this audience here?
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Nila Devanath, and I am running for the 2nd Congressional District. I am many things, but I am a Harvard-trained attorney, a Yale-trained lawyer, and I also am currently a hospital doctor here in District 2. I live in Suffolk. I was raised in Chesapeake and Suffolk, kind of lived all around Hampton Roads, and I serve this community every day, and I'm a brand new mom.
We can see that. I think it's important that everyone understands that the primary election comes up on August the 4th, and it is a Democratic primary. You have 4 candidates, and I think there's only one candidate that really deserves our vote. I know she has my vote, she has my endorsement, and I am completely 100% behind her. So let's just talk a few things, a little bit about some of the issues. So what's important to you?
Well, there's a couple of different things that are important to me. I think the first one is universal health care. So I'm a doctor in the hospital, and so I basically see what happens when our healthcare system is broken. Everybody who slips through the cracks ends up in the emergency room.
That's true.
And so I see a lot of people in the emergency room, in the hospital, in the ICU, and I'm kind of shocked at what's going on because a lot of it is preventable. But you know, we have our veterans, for instance, waiting 9 months for just one appointment. And many of you have heard me speak about my most common patient, which is a veteran patient who has a foot infection, right? And that foot infection, because it wasn't treated for 9 months, spreads to the foot, the legs, and sometimes, unfortunately, we have to amputate. That happens probably every week that I'm in the hospital that we're doing an amputation. And that's shocking to me because that's really like we're practicing wartime medicine in this time that should be peace and prosperity. Universal health care will give people their dignity back, right? It'll stop people from having to wonder, will I have health care if I'm employed or unemployed? Over 65, under 65, you know, children, everybody will be covered. And, you know, it's not going to happen overnight because that's a big jump for our country. But we have to elect people to Congress who are willing to pursue that. If we don't, it's definitely never going to happen. And our healthcare system is so broken. You know, some people say, oh, if we go towards universal healthcare, we'll be like those other countries where the wait times are so long. The wait times are already long, people. So we're already waiting 6 to 9 months, sometimes a year for appointments, right? And it's not fair. It's not fair to anybody to do that.
So universal health care will be health care that's for everyone.
That's for everyone.
Regardless of income, where you live, you know, the community.
Exactly. Essentially like Medicare for all.
Okay.
The other things that are important to me are a couple of things, but ending financial corruption in Congress.
Let's just say before we do that, let's just talk about, so what would you do in terms of universal health care or health care in general?
So what I would do is I would pursue Medicare for all. So Medicare for all will allow people to be fully insured And also with universal health care, there will be physicians essentially working for the government. Similar to the VA system, you know, our veterans benefit from essentially a universal health care model, but this would be for everybody now.
So instead of working for the hospital,
Yes.
everyone would work that would work on a kind of a government system,
Yes.
which would ensure that everyone has health care. Would that include like vision and dental? And
That would include vision and dental. And, you know, there are some like variations to this. You know, some people want to pursue something called a public option, which gives you a public insurance program. That could be a first step towards universal health care. You know, it could be that that middle zone before we jump to universal health care.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I would pursue.
Okay, so the election is August the 4th. It's the Democratic primary. You want to make sure that you get out and vote for Dr. Nila. She is running as a candidate in the 2nd Congressional District. We want to make sure that she wins the primary election, and that we can go on and defeat Jen Kiggins, who has been an absolute disaster for much of our community. So let me just ask you another question about the winnability of winning, and I guess what is probably a swing district.
Yes.
Sometimes they say it's hard to beat an incumbent, and I know that Elaine Luria is running, but I'm just going to say this publicly. Elaine Luria does not deserve our support. That's period. And I just want to kind of make that and put that out there. It doesn't really matter who's supporting her. She does not deserve our support. When she was in office, those couple of years, she made no attempt to provide any real services for people in our community. And so here's an opportunity for us to make sure that we're going to have someone in place who's going to service the needs of the people in our community.
So one of the differences between us is our stance on corporate PAC money. I don't like the fact that corporations and billionaires are trying to control this country with buying politicians who make decisions in their favor instead of working families. And I reject all corporate PAC money. So I don't accept any of that on my campaign. That is very different for Elaine. She has taken corporate PAC money in the past. In fact, when she ran for Congress previously, she said she wouldn't take corporate PAC money, and then 2 years later, she ended up taking big tobacco, nuclear weapons contractors, and other corporate PAC money. So that was a big difference. The other difference is that I also don't take APAC money. So I don't believe in taking any foreign interest related PAC money. You know, I think that right now what's going on in Palestine is atrocious. It's a genocide. And, you know, the government and military of Israel are participating in a genocide. We really have to ask questions when we work with foreign governments and militaries as to what is their humanitarian status before we give them a blank check for military aid and support. We can't keep doing that. And yet we have actually done that with the passing of the National Defense Authorization Act actually just recently. So, you know, I question that very strongly. I think we need people who are going to morally stand up for what is right, and killing tens of thousands of children, of babies, isn't right.
It's morally wrong. So the election is August the 4th. It is a primary. It's a Democratic primary. If you live on the Eastern Shore, if you live in Suffolk, if you live in Virginia Beach, if you live in portions of Norfolk, you are a part of the 2nd Congressional District. There's a Democratic primary. Dr. Nila is running for that seat. She is the best candidate. I've had an opportunity to sit and talk with her on several occasions. I have been impressed with her commitment to the community. And I just want you to remember, it's August the 4th. It is the Democratic primary. There's only one name that you need to vote for. That's Dr. Nila Devanath. And so make sure that you tell your family, your friends, and others about voting for someone who is going to obviously make a huge difference. She's a new mom, too, by the way, as you can see, who has not shuffled her newborn off to someone, but who's taken the time to demonstrate that she's a mom as well as a viable candidate and a physician. So how can people support you financially?
Well, thank you for asking, Pastor Guns. I really appreciate it. I'm a community-based people power campaign. So because I don't take corporate money and I don't take APAC money, we need donations. So you can go to nilaforcongress.com. That's NILAFOR Congress.com. And the reason we need donations is we need to get the word out. Right now, we have so many people calling me every day for yard signs, for door hangers. We have a huge volunteer force, but we need material, and we need to get our material out there. And we need funding to do that. So we need your support, nilaforcongress.com. And by the way, forgot to mention, if you want to, you can also early vote. So early voting has already started. And if you go to early vote, you have to vote at your central registrar, not your neighborhood polling place. It's going to be your city central registrar. Oh, you got my hair. And I'll tell you, I mean, it is tough being a new mom and a working parent. I'm actually the only person in this primary right now who is working. You know, I didn't double or triple my net worth in Congress with stock trading, as some people may have, which I'm against stock trading in Congress, individual stock trading.
I think that's a great thing.
Yes, and for term limits, I think we need term limits. There's so many ways that we can, you know, clean up Congress and end corruption, financial corruption in Congress, and we have to do it.
Yeah,
because,
and I think that you represent a new generation of leaders that we definitely need to have in Congress, because people in my generation, we are passing away.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a fact.
No.
Baby boomers are on their way out the door.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Well, it's a fact. It's a fact. Baby boomers, we are headed for the final roundup. But that primary is August the 4th. And you can go to your local registrar's office in the city where you live and vote in the Democratic primary. There's only one name that you need to consider. That's Dr. Nila Devanath. Make sure that you vote for her. You can support her campaign with your contribution at nilaforcongress.com. That's NIALNILA for Congress.com. Any contribution that you give will be helpful. If you'd like to support her campaign in any other way, you can go to her website and sign up and support. Put a yard sign in your yard and make sure that you support Dr. Nila for Congress. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Nila Devanath, and I approve this message.